In this video, we'll see some of the advanced eBGP and iBGP configurations. Like if you remember in the previous section, we have seen the iBGP and eBGP configurations using the directly connected interfaces. Now in this scenario, we'll still form the neighborship with iBGP, internal BGP and external BGP, but this time we are going to use the loopback interfaces. So I'm going to establish the peering. So we are going to establish the peering by using the loopback interfaces. So whenever we are going to establish the peering with the loopback interfaces, we need to remember that we need to add a command called remote AS. At the same time, we need to add update source command. So these two commands are mandatory. Now the same thing applies for IPv6 BGP also. And apart from that, we are also going to configure authentication between them. Now, which means if in order to establish a neighborship, they should have an MD5 authentication, encrypted authentication, and they're going to use a password of Cisco 123. So which means we need to configure one more command called neighbor, and then we need to configure a password command. And also, if you see here, router 1, router 2, router 3, they belong to the same autonomous system number. Now we are not going to use a full mesh. And if you're doing full mesh, router 1 should pair with router 2 and router 3. So every router has to establish the iBGP peering using the loopback interfaces, but we are not going to use full mesh. Instead, we are going to use a concept of route reflector server, where R2 will be our server and then R1 and R3 will be our route reflector clients. So it's a combination of multiple things. At the same time, we are also ensuring that we are not using more commands. Like at the same time, we are also using something called peer groups to combine multiple similar kind of commands. Like if I list all the commands what we use, the first thing we use a remote AS command. Remote AS is 500 for each and every neighbor, and also we use a command called update source loopback 0, because we need to change the source address to loopback 0 address. At the same time, we are going to configure one more command called password. What is the password we are going to use? For each neighbor, it will be Cisco 123. Apart from that, if I am doing on the server side, we have a command called route reflector client command, has to be configured for each and every client. So what we are going to do is we are going to combine these 4 set of commands into one peer group with a name called CCIE, and then we are going to configure the iBGP configurations here. Now before that, if you want to provide the reachability between the loopback 0 interfaces of router 1, router 2 and router 3, we need to configure any of the IGP protocol. So the RIP will be the IGP protocol which we are going to use, and then we are getting into some iBGP configurations as per the requirement. The same thing what I discussed just now. Do not use full mesh, which means we are going to use a RS server configuration, and then the authentication has to be there. At the same time, we are going to minimize the number of commands. So let's get started with the command line. So the first thing, we'll see iBGP here in this section. Probably in our next section, we'll also get into some advanced eBGP configurations as well. So the main reason of doing this is just to have a rough idea on how the IPv6 advanced configurations goes with iBGP. So I'm going to say router BGP. Now if you're going to continue with the previous lab, I removed the configurations what I have done in the previous lab. So which means I'm going to configure everything from the basic, and all the routers are having just the basic IPv6 addresses pre-configured. Apart from that, everything I'm going to configure from the basic. So as per our diagram here, I'm going to make router 2 will be our RS server, and router 1 and router 3 will be our clients, and then we have to use a remote AS command, and then we are going to use update source command, and then we are going to use a password command, that is for authentication. And then what's the other command? We are going to use a route reflector client command, and this command only comes on the RS server, whereas on the client side we are going to use only 3 set of commands. So let's try to configure that. So the first thing, I'll start with router 2, which is our RS server. Now it will be router BGP 500, and I'm going to disable the default IPv4 BGP, and then I need to create a peer group. So to create a peer group, it's the same thing. We need to say neighbor CCIE, and then we need to configure a peer group. The name of the peer group is CCIE, and then I need to say neighbor CCIE. What is the first command? Remote AS is 500, and then what's the next command? Update source loopback 0, and then the password command, password is Cisco123, and then I'm going to use one more command, that is route shifter client. Now this route shifter client actually comes under the address family, but at the same time you can also create the peer group, because why you do see this message, because the reason is I have disabled the default IPv4. But not a problem. What I can do is I can configure everything under my address family IPv6. I can use the same commands again here. So now there won't be any message here. So either you can create the peer groups just like we did in a normal router mode, or you can also do the same thing under the address family IPv6. So when I'm creating under the address family IPv6, this peer group will be created for IPv6 host, and the same commands I'm going to apply. Now this 4 set of commands we need to apply for all the neighbors. Right now we have 2 neighbors, that is router 1, and the IP address on the router 1 will be 2001:1 with slash, so not slash, it will be remote AS 500. It's not remote AS, so we need to apply peer group CCIE, and then similar way I'm going to configure neighbor. What is other neighbor? Peer group CCIE. So when I'm going to apply the peer group CCIE for 2001:3, so I have given just 1 colon. Now when I say peer group CCIE, automatically this neighbor will be applied with all the 4 set of commands which we want to apply. So in this section we are just trying to get into some advanced IBGP configurations, and apart from the network command 2001:2 with /128, and if you want to advertise the WAN interfaces, it's up to you, you can advertise. So I'm just ignoring those WAN interfaces as of now. Okay, done. But one thing I forgot actually, in order to provide the reachability between these loopbacks, because now the router 2 is pairing with loopback with router 1 loopback and router 3 loopback. Now to provide the reachability between these loopbacks, we need to configure any of the IGP protocol. That is the first step actually. I forgot to do that. So quickly I'll configure IGP before I continue with my BGP configurations again. So the first thing we need to say IPv6 unicast routing. I did not do that here because it's by default enabled. So IPv6 router router RIP, CCI is a process ID, and then interface S1/0, IPv6 RIP, CCI enable. So I expect you to know these basic configurations which we had done in our IPv6 classes separately. And then I'm going to advertise the loopback interface as well. Done. So I'm going to advertise the S1/0 interface inside the AS100, 500, and also the loopback interface. The same thing I'm going to do on the router 2 as well. IPv6 router RIP process ID, and then enabling on the S1/0 interface. What is the interface? S1/0 IPv6 RIP CCI enable, and the same thing I need to do on the S1/1 interface, because the router 2 is having 2 interfaces, and the third interface is the loopback interface I'm going to advertise. Now the same thing I need to do on the router 3 as well. Interface S1/0 IPv6 RIP CCI enable, and interface loopback 0 enable. So before you configure IBGP using the loopbacks, ensure that you are able to see all the routes coming from all the 3 routers which are inside this. Show IPv6 route RIP. You can see I'm able to see the routes coming from router 1 as well as coming from router 2. At the same time, I need to ensure that I'm able to ping to those loopbacks 2001:1 with a source loopback 0. So loopback to loopback, we should be able to ping just to ensure that there is a reachability between the loopbacks. So then only the neighborship will establish. When we are going to configure IBGP using loopbacks, the reachability must be there. So let's get back to our BGP configurations. Like if you remember, we already did that BGP configuration here on the router 2. I have created a peer group with all the 4 set of commands. Now you can see, even though I configure here, it automatically takes here. And then route filter client command, and then activating for 2 neighbors. We did activate, right? Yes, activate for 2 neighbors and this peer group. Now the next thing, let's go to router 1 and configure on the router 1. So on the router BGP 500, now the client is going to form the peering with only server, which means the router 1 has to establish the peering with only server. So if you go back and check the configurations on the router 1, so this will be on the router 1. So we are going to say no BGP default unicast, and then creating the peer groups, and then applying to specific neighbor, and then activating under the neighborship. Let's do the same thing here. No BGP default IPv4 unicast, and then on the address family IPv6 unicast, I'm going to create a peer group again. Now this time this peer group will have only 3 set of commands, and those commands will be remote AS500, and then update source loopback 0, and the next command will be password Cisco 123, and route filter client command will not come on the client side. And then I need to enable this for 2001::2. I need to say peer group CCI, and then we need to say activate. So we are activating that specific neighbor and applying the peer group on that neighbor, and then network command advertising 2001::1/128. Done. So the same thing, if I copy paste the same configurations over there on the router 3, if I take the notepad, so mostly all the commands will be the same except the network command, because on the router 3 the network command will be this, and the router 3 also form the neighborship with router 2, which is our server. So let's go back to router 3 and I will quickly configure. Before that, ensure that we give IPv6 unicast routing. Done. Now verification. To verify if all the commands are correct, definitely you will see the neighborship between router 2 and router 1 and router 2 and router 3. So let's verify that router 2 should have 2 neighbors. Let's go to router 2 and give the command show IPBGP IPv6 unicast summary. Now I can see the neighborship is up both the sides, which is going to confirm that the neighborship, whatever the commands we have configured, all the commands are correct. And if I remove summary, you should be able to see all the 3 loopbacks, whatever we have used in the BGP network commands. I can see the loopbacks here. Now this way we configure the basic IBGP configurations with a combination of route reflectors and peer groups commands. So probably in our next section we'll get into more in detail, like we'll get into some eBGP configuration. This is something we'll continue in our next video.